Hey guys, it's Ashley from Mom Jeans and Garden Things, where we show that building a garden is possible for everyone. Today we are here in my seed starting station and we're going to talk about how to do your own setup. Now, you may be wondering why have it quite so bootleg looking. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to show that gardening isn't always perfect. I did not want to wait until I had my setup reset up for all of my seeds because I wanted to show you that it is possible at any stage in gardening. You can grow where you are. In fact, let's roll a clip of what my last year's seed starting station looked like. That's right. I did it under my cabinet. I built it up by stacking wood on top of each other and connected the grow lights to the top of the shelves. And that was my grow station. And it did really well. And I got a lot of seedlings to be really productive out in the yard. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the supplies that are absolutely necessary for your seed starting station. We're also going to talk about creating the perfect environment, and then I'll give you a few additional tips. So let's get started. So as far as supplies go, I am in the mindset that there is very little that you have to purchase to create the perfect seed starting station. In fact, there's only one supply that I feel like is absolutely crucial to the success of your seed starting, and that is grow lights. Now I've got these grow lights basically zip tied to the top of this shelving unit. These were the exact same lights that I used last year when I was under my cabinet. Now these are LED lights, but LED and fluorescent lights will both work. They sell fluorescent lights at Home Depot and Lowe's, and I will show you a picture of those. I used to have those on these, but when I moved my AeroGardens over here, I took them down and just connected the ones from under my cabinet. Additionally, you may want to use heating pads. Containers are great. You can purchase containers. I like the silicone containers that have multiple trays, and I will use those for some of my seeds when I'm starting them. But I also use things like these fruit trays. They work perfectly, especially when I'm seeding multiple things. Let me go ahead and put that one back where it's supposed to go. So I like things like that. You can use egg cartons, you can use milk cartons, you can use literally anything. So that's not something that you have to purchase. Additionally, you may want to have humidity domes. If you use these fruit containers, they actually have a top that closes. And so that works fine as your humidity dome. You could also use plastic wrap as a humidity dome. So lots of options there as well. Labels are great, but I actually created a video that showed some different ways that you can use things around your house as labels. And then you'll want some ventilation. Now, if you've got open shelving like this, ventilation is maybe a little bit less important, but if you're using something like under the cabinet, then you'll want to have a small fan. Now let's talk about the ideal location. When you're setting up your location, the big things that you're going to want to think about are your temperature, the light, making sure that it is a stable location. If your home is anywhere between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, you can place your seed starting station basically anywhere in your home. You want to make sure that there's not a lot of variability in the temperature or the light. So having grow lights is what helps give you that consistent light, and being in a place that's maybe away from doors gives you more consistent temperatures. You want light to be on your seedlings between 14 and 16 hours a day, and you want those seedlings to be between 2 and 4 inches away. Now, as you can see, my shelving is much further than that 4 to 6 inch, so I am using a box to stack my seedlings up closer to the light. Anything works. If you're trying to grow, you don't want to spend a lot of time trying to gather a bunch of stuff. If you have the basics, if you have the light, you can make it work. As far as timing goes, when you should actually start your seeds, this is going to be based on your frost date. And you can find your frost date at almanac.com. I will link that below. If you want a quick reference for what to plant when, I've actually created a seed starting cheat sheet that I will link below. You can grab that free of charge, and it will give you the most popular fruits and vegetables when you should get those started. All right, so we've got our seed starting station set up. We are ready to go. We've got our seedling started. What's next? Well, the first thing that you want to do is, depending on the seedling, you want to make sure you thin before you transplant. So the earlier you thin out your seedlings, the less likely you are to damage the roots as they get more mature. So you just go through and remove with scissors or pruners the weaker of the two seedlings and allow the one to grow in each particular cell. Next, you want to make sure that you're watering wisely. Now, if you see, I've got my seedlings, these are onions, I've got them in a watering tray. So I actually don't do any watering on top of my seedlings. All of my watering is done by adding the water to the base, like so. And then I just allow that water to soak up into the soil. And when it stops soaking up, I will pour off the excess. So the last tip is, once your seedlings have started getting their true leaves, you will want to transplant to larger pots as needed. And then make sure you harden off those transplants before they go outside. Hardening off is just the process of slowly getting the seeds acclimated to the outside temperatures and wind from the safety of indoors. This can take anywhere between a week and a couple of weeks, depending on the variability between your indoor temperature and your outdoor temperature. And it just really ensures the success of your plants so that you have mature, producing plants. All right, y'all, that is everything for our seed starting setup. Again, if you want to grab that cheat sheet for seed starting germination rates, you can go ahead and grab that in the link below. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like bell, and we will see you in the next video.